counseling, so he wants me to counsel people. So I want to tell you that we're going into the new year. And here's how I want you to think about going into the new year. I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them this is your last chance. The clock is going to strike 12 pretty soon. It's going to strike 12 pretty soon. And you need to make a decision about what you're going to do. I'm going to keep it simple tonight, so we're not going to run all over the Bible. We're going to stick to one passage. So at the end of this, how many of you guys have been given a little piece of paper? On that little piece of paper, here's what I want you to do. I want you to respond by writing on that piece of paper what you don't want to take with you in 2020. What you want to get rid of. And you're going to have an opportunity to respond. And you're going to respond in a way, and I hope to God that you make like a beeline from your chair to the altar. If you hesitate, it might get 12 o'clock. And you're not going to make it. Because I want to let you know that the Lord is knocking right now. He's knocking on your door. He's trying to tell you that time is short. Tell the person next to you time is short. We don't have a whole lot of time. You may think that you're going to last longer than somebody else, but I guarantee you, if you walk outside that door, you may not make it. There's a lot of things that got to happen tonight. And tonight I want to start off with something that's really important. We're going to go into the book of Mark chapter 10. The book of Mark chapter 10, it talks about blind Bartimaeus. Anybody here blind? Anybody here blind? He was blind. And now you see. Right? This is what I expect of you. I want to let you know that God has something to do tonight. So we're going to go to Mark chapter 10, verse 46. Listen to what he says. Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city. I want to let you know that word leaving the city means that Jesus was about to be crucified. He was going to Jerusalem for his life to end. So I want to let you know that he's telling us a story that we don't have a whole lot of time. He's here now to speak to you, and you need to listen. Tell a person next to you, listen. My wife's name is Linda, so I tell her, listen, Linda. So you need to hear what God is trying to say. He's trying to get our attention, mine as well. So he's just about ready to leave the city. A blind man, Bartimaeus, who's the son of Timaeus, who was sitting by the roadside, begging. Anybody here ever had to beg before? Have you ever groveled before? Have you ever been a place in your life where it was miserable? Anybody? Does anybody know what misery looks like? If you know what misery looks like, you don't want to be next to it. Tell a person next to you, misery loves company. And you need to make a decision tonight that you don't want to be miserable anymore. I don't want to go into 220 like I was in 2019. I want to go into 220 victorious. I want to go in there excited about what God is about to do. And God is going to do miracles. Tell a person next to you, God is going to do miracles. So the first thing I want to tell you is to notice that Jesus is leaving Jericho on his way to Jerusalem to be crucified. Have you ever been in a place in your life, where things have gone wrong so bad that you don't even know how to get out of it? Anybody? See, the name Bartimaeus means son of honor. And I want to let you know that he's sitting by the wayside right now, and sitting by the wayside, he's begging from people. His name does not match up to being the son of honor. How many of you know that you do not match with your name? You're not living according to the name that God gave you. God gave you a name. He called you a victor. He called you the winner. He called you something that's really powerful. He told you that you are more than a conqueror, that you are the one above and not below. So tonight you need to make that decision that you're not going to live below anymore, that you're not going to be the way you used to be anymore. So here's blind Bartimaeus. can't see what's going on. He's kind of in a bad place. He was not matching up to his name. Some of us have been in a place where our name doesn't match up with us. Have you ever gone through life knowing that you look around and you go like, hey, this is not fair? Tell the person next to you, this is not fair. Sometimes life is not fair. You know that, right? You see the person next to you driving a nice red Cadillac. And you say, that car should be mine. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt envious about what somebody else has? Have you ever wanted something that doesn't belong to you? Have you ever said, that girl belongs to me and not to him? Or that guy should be mine and not yours? Come on, girls, tell the truth. You're going through life and you ever said to yourself, wait a minute, this is not fair. Life is not going the way I want it to go. The quickest way to the wrong things in your life is to compare yourself to somebody else. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Stop wanting what belongs to somebody else. It's important for you to know that there's something that you've got to do. Be careful when you start comparing with the person next to you. Be careful about that, because you may find yourself more discouraged than ever before. Bartimaeus had some limitations. Anybody here has limitations? We all have limitations. He had limitations in his life. He was at the bottom of the economic lifestyle. Ever been in poverty? Anybody? Anybody ever been so poor that you didn't know how you were going to make it tomorrow? Been in such a bad place where you don't know how you're going to survive? That where your back was up against the wall and you don't know how you're going to make it? Have you ever been in a place where you lost your job and you don't know how you're going to provide for your family? Well, here's a guy right here who's begging right now. He's kind of out there. And you know when you see people, anybody see people on the roadside sometimes begging? You see them with their cup out there trying to ask for money. You go by the expressway, you see all kinds of people asking you for help. And some of them are for real, and some of them are not. But Bartimaeus was for real. He was blind. He can't see. He can't get anywhere. He can't do anything. He had a tragic life. He was blind. He can hear, but he can't see. He had obstacles in his life. Anybody here have obstacles? Obstacles in your life sometimes that's stopping you from your faith breaking through. You want to break through that ceiling, but you can't get through because there's obstacles. Some of them are the burdens that you carry. Anybody have burdens? Burdens that are so heavy they just stop you from moving forward. And you say to yourself, oh, woe is me. Some people in here have barriers of all different kinds. Maybe you have battles. Anybody have battles with family? Anybody have any troubles with people around you? Do you like everybody in church? Do you love everybody in church? It's a big difference, brother. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there's things that stop you, obstacles from doing all the things that God wants to do. Anybody here that's broken? Any broken people in here? Some of you need to raise both hands and both feet.
Stand up and scream.
Broken people have a hard time getting to where God wants them to go. Bitterness. Anybody struggle with bitterness? Bitterness is a worm. It'll eat you alive. And some of you know what I'm talking about. It'll eat you and eat you and eat you until there's nothing left of you. Blind Bartimaeus was in a bad place. I want you to write this down. Point number 2. Seize the moment. Some of you need to understand that there's a moment right now that you need to take a grasp of. You need to grab a hold of it. Here's what verse 47 says. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Some of you need to grab the moment right now is a moment that you need to grab a hold of. You need to know that 2020 is right around the corner. As a matter of fact, just a couple hours away from now. And you may not make it unless you seize the moment. When we have the altar call, you need to seize the moment. You need to take advantage. You need to grab it. Take hold of it. Don't wait. Don't let the person next to you stop you. Don't look around you. Don't wait. Don't think too long. Because you're going to miss it. It may pass you by. So I want you to understand that blind Bartimaeus understood that he had limitations, but he was resourceful. He realized what he didn't have. He didn't have eyes to see, but he did have a voice to shout. He had a voice that he could cry out. Have you ever cried out to God before? Have you ever cried out so loud that everybody around you could hear you? You need to cry out to God with a voice that the heavens can hear you. Blind Bartimaeus was in that place. He knew his limitations, but he had one thing going for him. He knew that it's once in a lifetime. Tell the person next to you, comes once in a lifetime. So you have one chance, and one chance only, to make this decision. You can't wait too long, just like blind Bartimaeus. He knew that if he let this moment pass by, Jesus was there. And if he let him pass by, he's going to miss one moment in time that could change his whole life. Every one of you have that choice tonight. You could either decide to accept it and say, I'm going to yell out, I'm going to scream from the top of my lungs, I'm going to get Jesus' attention, or you could let him pass by. You have a choice to make. I love what he knew that he had one thing left. If I make the wrong choice, I'll never be able to change. But if I make the right choice, I'm going to spend eternity with Jesus. See, a lot of you came in, maybe you came in because it's New Year's Eve night. Some of you may be going to the bar tonight. I hope you don't. Some of you may be going to somebody's party. Somebody's laughing. What's that? And you may go out and do something that's not right. You have a moment to make a smart decision. So tonight, we're going to do some things. You're going to have to take a bold step. How many of you guys are ready to take a bold step? See, bold steps means that you can't wait. That means that you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. See, right now you're relaxed. You're okay. You're quiet. It seems like Pastor Tony's going to finish any second. I'm going to go home. But it's not going to end that way. It's not going to end that way. Tell the person next to you it's not going to end that way. I got to make a decision. You got to make a step tonight. You got to take a bold step. You can't wait. You can't look around. You can't ask somebody else's opinion. Your decision. When I think about taking a bold step, it makes me think about the things that we need to do. So when was the last time? When was the last time that you stopped and you did something that was bold enough to simply cry out to God and say, God, I need you? When was the last time that you stood out there and you said with a loud voice, not worrying about what anybody else is going to say, not worrying about somebody looking at you when you start crying? You ever cried in church? I cry in church every day. I was listening to the songs and I'm sitting back there and I'm bawling like a baby. You know why? God's talking to me. When I hear God's voice, I can't stop. I went to the bookstore the other day, a Christian bookstore. I don't know why he does this to me. But I went in aisle number 6 and I opened up a book. And I'm reading the book and God's speaking to me. And my lips starts quivering. Anybody ever do that before? You ever come to church and all of a sudden your lips start quivering and you don't know why? You ever sit there and tears start flowing down your face and everybody looking at you? And you going like, oh my goodness, why am I crying in church? This is when God is speaking. He's trying to get your attention. He's trying to let you know that he's talking to you. Ever been in a place where you don't care what anybody else thinks? See, I want to let you know the person next to you can stop you from getting what you deserve tonight. If you let them. decision. Because you need to say, I don't care what you think. It's about my life. I need to make that decision. If you came in with your boyfriend or girlfriend tonight and you say, it's a bad relationship, I've got to change things. Don't let your boyfriend or girlfriend stop you from making that decision. That's a big choice you got to make. Verse 48, many rebuked him and told him to be quiet. Anybody ever told you to be quiet? Anybody ever told you, shut up? So he told him to be quiet, to be shut up, not say another word, but he shouted all the more. See, I want you to know there's people around you who don't want to be identified. And they want you to shut up so they don't be identified. So we're telling you, be quiet. You're drawing attention to us. I don't know what you do, but I know what I do. When somebody tells me to be quiet or to shut up, I speak louder. I say more. As a matter of fact, I get really obnoxious. I really get out of hand. Ask my wife, she knows. I don't mind being bold. I don't have a problem getting in your face. Because there's something I have to say to you. So they're telling him to be quiet. And he decided to shout all the more. He said, Son of David, have mercy on me. Tonight you need to shout out, Son of David, Jesus, have mercy on me. Have mercy. You know what God's mercy is? That's God being gracious and being kind, not giving you what you deserve. Because what we deserve is hell. But what he's going to give us, we don't deserve that either. He's going to give you a place in heaven with him. Somebody say amen. So blind Bartimaeus had a decision to make. Do I keep everybody else happy? Do I make everybody around me feel okay? So that means I'm going to shut up. Or do I make enough noise to get Jesus' attention? Are you willing to make enough noise tonight? Are you willing to shout out enough? Are you willing to cry out enough to get God's attention? See, because I know I talked to a guy the other day. I won't mention his name. He might be in here tonight. If he's in here tonight, he's probably going to chase me in the parking lot. But that's okay. I met him at the altar the other day, and he told me that he was up in age. And he was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Anybody ever feel that way?
Amen.
Tired of living the life that I'm living. I feel like years are going by. Everybody else is moving forward, but I'm not. Everybody else is succeeding, but I'm not. Everybody else is prospering, but I'm not. Everybody else is doing good. They've got a family to go to, but I don't. Everybody's got children, and I don't. He saw himself in a bad place. So you have to make a decision. Do you want to make everybody else happy by not saying another word? Or do you want to make enough noise to get Jesus' attention?
Hallelujah.
You have to decide what you want to do. Tonight you have to realize that you're going to have to shout it out. You're going to have to shout so loud that Jesus is going to hear you. That means that your heart's going to have to cry like it's never cried before. Verse 49, listen to this. And Jesus stopped. I love that. He heard him, and he stopped. And he said, call him. So they called the blind man. He said, cheer up. The people who told him to shut up before are telling him, cheer up. Now they're encouraging him. He called you. I want to let you know that Jesus is calling you. He heard your cry. He heard your voice. He heard what you were going through. He knows your troubles. He knows your life. family. He knows your depression. He knows your sickness. He knows your disease. And he heard you cry out. And he came here for you. So you know he heard you and he stopped. Tell the person next to you, Jesus stopped for you.
Jesus stopped for you.
So he called the blind man, cheer up. He said, on your feet. He's calling you. So Jesus is calling you. He's calling you. In so many ways, he's already talked to you tonight through the worship, through the baptism, through the words in the songs, through the people that are around you. He's calling you. And you know it. Now you need to respond. So either you refuse and reject him, or you run to the altar. You have a decision to make. So there's something I want to let you know. The same group that criticized him and told him to shut up are now telling him that Jesus is calling you. Stand up and go up to him. It's very important that you decide what you're going to do. But I want to tell you before we go any further that there's some things that need to happen. There's some things in your life that need to happen. Mark chapter 10, verse 50. Throwing off his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and he came to Jesus. See what happened to blind Bartimaeus, the thing that was worth more than anything else to him was that little cloak that he was wearing. It was warm and it kept him comfortable. Some of you are comfortable where you're at. And comfortable is not always good. And so he got to the point where he felt comfortable with this wrap that he had around him. But then he realized, I got to get rid of this thing because it's going to trip me up. And I need to make a beeline for Jesus. Some of you are entangled in things right now that you need to throw off. You need to throw things off that have been holding you back all your life. Some of you are good Christians, but you have addictions. Some of you are good Christians, but you still struggle. Some of you have never given your life to Christ at all, and you need to do that tonight. So here's what I want to do with you. I want to put you to the test. Jesus is going to change things tonight. This man had to get rid of his cloak. I'm going to tell you this, and then we're going to play a song. Don't put off for tomorrow what you did today. So we're going to play a song, and I want you to listen to it as we play the song.
I will
short. This song is very perfect for us. So I'm going to go to verse 51. It said, what do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Verse 52. Just go. Jesus said, your faith has healed you. Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. Bartimaeus got what he wanted. He wanted to see again. So you may come to the altar tonight, you may come here, and you may surrender. But I don't want you to come and surrender and then go back out there and live the life that you used to live. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Our altar call is going to be a little bit different. I need for somebody to bring the little baskets that we have here. We have 3 little baskets here. In these baskets, each one of you have a little piece of paper. I want you to write down there the things that you want to surrender. Some of you have never given your life to Christ. You need to make that decision. Because tomorrow may never come. You may not make it. You may not make it through this door. I want you to think about, we call this a sin bin. That little piece of paper that you have is for a reason. I want you to write down the things that you need to surrender. Pastor, I'm struggling. I have an addictive behavior. I struggle. I'm a sex addict. I struggle with drugs. I struggle with addictive things. I drink too much. I have a bad temper. I argue too much. I fight with my family all the time. I'm not around my children the way I should be. I'm struggling with depression. I'm struggling in my life, Pastor, and I need help. The best way for you to get help is you have to make a decision. Don't be foolish and think that you're going to walk out and everything's going to be fine. Or you're going to go to the party and have a few drinks, and guess what? After the booze wears off, the problem is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. Some of you have a need and you're embarrassed. You don't want anybody else to know. Oh, Pastor, I'm struggling and I don't want the church to know. Do we have any sinners in here? We're all sinners saved by the grace of God. Only by the grace of God. Only by the grace of God. It's only by the grace of God. So here's what I want you to do. See, so if you're not going to do it in here, you're not going to do it out there. I asked you for a bold step. I asked you for a bold step. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to get out of your seat. No hesitation. No hesitation. You hesitate, you might miss it. I want you to come up here, right in front of everybody. In front of everybody. Pastor, in front of everybody. I want you to bring that little piece of paper with you. I want you to stop right there. I want you to shred it up. Never given your life, I want you to bow your knee. Somebody's going to pray with you and lead you to Christ. Do you have issues in your life that you need to deal with tonight before 2020 comes? Amen. Praise the Lord. So I want you to go ahead and empty it into the garbage can. If you have any drugs with you, I want you to throw it in the garbage can. If you have any struggles, I want you to come and throw it in the garbage can.
is how to fight my battle.